Good day and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. Today we're continuing our coverage of the ongoing civil war taking place inside of the former state of Ethiopia, and we can now report that over the last 48 hours, there has been a reported series of both airstrikes and drone strikes to the west of the capital, Addis Ababa. We believe that Abiy loyalist air assets deployed out of this airbase, the Hara Meta Airport or airbase, the main ENDF, Ethiopian National Defense Forces airbase, where a vast majority of Ethiopian combat assets loyal to Abiy Ahmed and the Prosperity Party are based at this locale. And what we also know is that these assets in the form of munitions, especially the drones, and more importantly, the precision-guided weapon systems that are launched from these drones are very, very limited at this point. And one of the main factors that has created the reduced numbers of some of these precision-guided munitions was the Addis Ababa offensive by the Tigrayan Defense Forces, in which we observed the Tigrayan Defense Forces maneuver down the A2 highway and get all the way very, very close to Debre Burhan and threaten Addis Ababa. And during the course of that offensive, obviously, huge amounts of precision-guided drone munitions, specifically MAML munitions, and some of the Chinese munitions used on the Wingloon drone were utilized during that operation. Ultimately, we believe that Western pressure led eventually to the withdrawal of the Tigrayan Defense Forces back towards the Tigray region. There was deep concern that if the TDF were to militarily enter Addis Ababa, also known as Finfine, it could have led to the further disintegration of the country and quite possibly widespread fighting taking place in a very large built-up metropolitan area, the likes of Addis Ababa. But because of that operation, we have seen the much less limited use of fixed-wing assets and drones by the Abiy loyalists against the Oromo Liberation Army. And what this means in terms of starting to see an uptick in the use of drones deploying some of these precision-guided munitions, especially the TB2 drone, that the ENDF, the Abiy loyalists, do possess, the same type of drone that is now being used in Ukraine to great effect, and was also used during the Azeri-Armenian war as well, which again proved to be a very, very effective system. But it would appear that due to recent gains by the Oromo Liberation Army and the inability of the Abiy loyalist formations, especially centered around the A4, A5 highway, these main arteries into Addis Ababa, we have seen the employment of these weapon systems, mainly strike aircraft and these drone aircraft, going after targets of opportunity of the Oromo Liberation Army. And this is not the first time that we have seen this, but we are starting to see an uptick in the use of air power by the Abiy loyalist formations directed against the Oromo Liberation Army. And that would mean, obviously, that the OLA continues to advance, and some of these operations, these recent operations that we've seen over the last 2 weeks, by additional ground forces of Amhara regional militias, Oromo regional special forces, light infantry forces, and the ENDF proper, the Ethiopian National Defense Forces, deployed against the Oromo Liberation Army have not had a great deal of success, especially in attempting to relieve the city of Ambo and that ongoing siege that we see to the west of Addis Ababa. But again, that is the information that we are hearing at this point. Continued airstrikes by Abiy loyalist formations against the Oromo Liberation Army as the economic situation inside of Addis Ababa and other parts of the country continue to worsen. We anticipate that we will continue to see hyperinflation start to rear its ugly head, especially in the capital, as prices continue to increase, as we see the economy continue to erode, degrade, and eventually, quite possibly, collapse, unfortunately. But that is what we're hearing and seeing, and that's what we are reporting today. So thanks for joining us, and we will have more very, very soon. Have a good day, everybody.